Hello and welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be discussing Relooted. Before we get into the video, if you could just drop a like, comment, and subscribe, that'd be fantastic. Now without further ado, let's continue. Let's hit 500 subs. Now, Relooted has been talked about quite a bit in the past couple of days for being a trash game, and I decided to download it, try it out for myself. And in all honesty, if you remove everything surrounding the game, all the negativity with the characters and the DEI, which we're going to talk about in today's video, it's essentially a heist game. And it's not the worst thing I've ever played. Let's put it that way. So the premise of the game is that you need to break into somewhere. There are treasures that must be gathered, and you are able to position your team in certain ways depending on how you want the extraction of the item to go. You can case the joint, you do a little bit of preparation, Ocean's 11 style, and then you need to plan an escape route, because when you finally grab said artifact, which there are going to be multiple of in a run, you then have to get to the escape point before the clock runs out, before you get caught. Now, in theory, this doesn't sound so bad, right? It's like, oh, a little heist game, prepare yourself, you scope the place, plan an escape route. The kind of game that you play when you're on your commute and you're on your way to work and you got a few minutes to spare. You can jump in, do a level real quick, and then get back to whatever you're doing. It feels like the perfect handheld game, a game for a Nintendo Switch, right? And then we get into the story of the game, where essentially you are doing heists, you're breaking into museums, stealing artifacts, and you know what, even at this point, I still understand, because there are a lot of countries in the world that have asked for their artifacts back, or at least duplicates of their artifacts. Because why are there so many Egyptian weapons inside of the British Museum, So even there, I understand the premise of like, oh, we're taking artifacts back to their home country. Sure, fine. I'm still on board. I'm using that word the loosest way possible. And then we get to the cast of the game. The tech wizard, whose code name is Locksmith because he's good at breaking into places, is black because he wants to steal the artifacts and send them back to Africa. And then the protagonist of the game that you play as, a girl, a woman, what is she good at, you might ask? Running, jumping. So she's very fast and she's good at jumping. Okay. I feel like there's a pattern going on here, but let's move on. You're a cast of 4, a black woman who used to be a professor, a white guy who used to be a student, and the brother-sister dynamic, which one is a perfect person for breaking in, and the other one's specialty is escaping law enforcement. This is an actual game that exists. They need help for their operation, because they're just 4 people. And you know who do they find? They find a criminal to help them, who is also black.
Your services being?
Logistics, specifically those avoiding bureaucratic entanglements like customs and border control.
So you are just an ordinary businessman then?
That's exactly how I would put it.
So this is not out of the goodness of your heart?
I am sympathetic to your cause. What African would not be?
Yeah, and then they find another guy who is great at in the Mission Impossible movies, when someone has to repel, exactly, when he's an expert at repelling, also black.
I will go through the vents. There are 3 places I can get out to help you, but they are far apart, so I can only be at 2 of them. It is up to you which ones works with your plan. Those are all the vents I can get to. Once we start with the mission, you cannot change my assignments. Are you certain of your choices?
Yeah. And then, after you and your black team break into the museum, steal 3 artifacts, evade the law, and then escape, you are then introduced to another antagonist that's going to be available in the game. Do you want to guess who he is? That's right, he's a black man. And he's decided to blackmail Trevor. Trevor's your brother. And essentially he's like, hey Trevor, you're gonna pay me back double what you owe me. And if you don't do it, I'm gonna tell the cops about your little late night shenanigans, breaking into museums and stealing artifacts.
Trevor, my favorite security expert. I hope Alpha and Tau didn't give you too much of a scare.
Just, I'll pay you back.
To think I was so close to telling Alpha and Tau to eliminate you.
So, one of the few male characters in the game is incompetent because he's in money problems and he needs his big sister to come and bail him out.
Sis,
Never mind. I'll fix it.
Are you for real? Are you serious? Is this the best you guys could come up with? I never knew I could be offended by a video game. This is upsetting to the deepest levels. I'm African, right? I'm a black person, and I love when I can see some representation in my game. However, being a thief is not the representation that I'm looking for. There are ways to make video games with black people in them and not receiving a ton of backlash. For example, don't make your entire cast of black people criminals. Try doing that. You play as a criminal, your brother is a criminal, and the antagonist of the game is also a black person who does crime. Every black person in this game is a criminal. Why would anyone and their mother think that this was a good idea? This is embarrassing. This is humiliating. This is not the type of representation I am talking about. There are a few things that I found interesting in the game. It's like you find artifacts and then they give you little tidbits of history about black populated places, right? So Haiti and Jamaica and Tanzania, whatever you want to call it, right? I have an idea. If you want to put a game out there that talks about Africa, that is black owned and black based, why not have a Metroidvania game where you have to explore some type of ancient African savanna and shit, and you have to take on these mythical beasts that are animal themed or whatever. And I just came up with that as I'm talking. I got no script. I'm just rambling and ranting right now. Or how about this? You play a survivor game, right? And it's in Africa and you gotta survive. It's set in distant Africa where, I mean, I know some tribes still exist that use bow and arrows, but where you don't have a choice but to use a bow and arrow. Why not go that route? There are so many ways to make games about Africa, games with black people in it, and for it not to come off as a pretentious piece of garbage. I am sick and tired of these dumbass games that make black people look worse. You literally made a game where the point is to steal. Are you serious right now?
Are you not ashamed of yourself? Are you not embarrassed? This is really embarrassing.
I'm legitimately upset. It is astounding. You know what's a game where I really enjoyed? Prototype 2. You play as James Heller. You're a black man. And you know what? The game has absolutely nothing to do with the color of his skin. He just so happens to be black. I don't even think anybody mentions that Heller is a black man in the entire game. They do not mention it. The most ethnic thing in the game is that you have a side character that is of Latin American descent or is straight Latin American, and he speaks a little Spanish here and there. The game was fantastic. Black people played it, white people played it, I'm sure even the Chinese played. There's no race debate, there's no argument, there's no DEI, oh, James Heller was a DEI insert. You know why? Because they decided to make a good game and then just add a black protagonist without putting in the stupid message. That's what you guys do. You guys don't put out games. You guys put out the message. Essentially this entire Relooted game, because they also go around justifying the crime, right? Which is a problem in society today. People do crime in real life, and then you have a bunch of dumb people that then justify those crimes. You shouldn't do that. You should let them get away with it. They're doing this because life is unfair. Yeah, that's how you get criminals that get released 74 times and then do crimes that should never be committed by anyone for no reason. It is foul, it is disgusting, and you guys should be ashamed of yourselves. This game is going to leave a terrible taste in so many people's mouths, and you only have yourselves to blame. My name is Isaac, and I approve this message. That's gonna be it for me. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did not, I understand, but let me know your thoughts in that comment section. While you're down there, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because it puts a smile on my face. As always, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace. Let's hit 500 subs.